geomancer and an alternative life coach. A geomancer is basically a house healer. Now you may wonder why I'm out here in this miserable weather. It's actually raining and it is pretty cold. But you know, I was thinking, we've had a few days of snow. It's gone now, there's just a few remnants on the hills. But I was thinking, you know, when it snowed, that it was amazing, and there was an opportunity to illustrate to you the way that dowsers can find information in people's houses. Because, you know, if I said to you that I could tell you where the sheep, the farm animals, the wild animals or the birds wandered across this land just by looking at it, you'd say I was completely nuts, probably. But how about now? Here in the snow, all these tracks, not only from the farm animals and wild animals, but also from birds and the people too. All this activity leaves marks in the snow that are so obvious over the 24 hours or so since it started snowing. When the snow falls and these tracks appear in the snow, it's like the way that when we douse a property, all this information kind of becomes visible. So even if something happened hundreds of years ago, if you're particularly sensitive to this kind of energy, then you'll be able to feel that something's not quite right. It doesn't sit well with you. You kind of feel out of sync with the property. And that's why if you walk into some houses, they might look perfectly good, they might look perfectly wonderful in the way that they're decorated, but something just doesn't feel quite right. This is a floor plan of a house, and this is how we would ordinarily see it, completely blank. This is the same floor plan once I have doused it to reveal what is usually unseen. One of the things that we douse for in people's houses is particularly strong emotional energy. Now these would be things like angry outbursts, or perhaps somebody sat in their favourite chair, you know, a previous owner, but they had depression. And the echoes of that depression, the energy of that depression, are left in the ether, so that when somebody else moves into that property, they can feel uncomfortable. The dowsing is like the snow falling to reveal the patterns. I know that some of you will be thinking even without snow you can see animal tracks in the mud. Well yes, of course, that's true. But in a way those tracks in the mud, those obvious signs, are like discontentment that any of us can pick up in a house without even trying. Have you ever turned up for a dinner party at a house where the host couple have just finished a big argument? Then you know for sure that something isn't quite right as soon as you step into that house. You might not pick up on the body language as such, but you know that something isn't quite right. And that's like the tracks in the mud. But of course what we don't see is the way that the energy of that argument, if it's been a strong one or a lot of arguments in a space over time, they leave the energy in the space. And it'll still be there hundreds of years later. This is similar to the way detrimental influences can occur from other invisible features like lines of earth energy or water. But lingering emotional energies can be cleared, and that's what a house healer like myself will do. And in most cases it works. The owners will often say that the house feels lighter, brighter, somehow feels bigger, and they're more relaxed and able to focus on what's good for them. Where's the science to support this? At present there hasn't been any direct experiments to support what I'm saying here at all, and to be frank, what I do for a living is regarded as hokum and nonsense by a lot of people, and that's fine. But these days, with the way that research is going into quantum biology and quantum physics, and the way that maths is able to really pull out some of the structures of our reality at a quantum level, I'm sure there's a way of finding out the links between what science says happens on a subatomic level, on an atomic level, whatever the quantum structure is, okay, and what I can find when I'm dowsing for the sort of information that I get that is provable by the owners of the houses. So there must be some way that the human body has a quantum process in it that enables information to be taken from one place, no matter where it is on the world, on the globe, to be brought down, and I can write it down in a report for somebody. Now, not everything that I produce and not every aspect of my reports is accurate, and not every aspect of it can be verified by the client. But time and time again, we get confirmation from clients that things have changed. They feel different, and I'm picking up specific information that they can verify, aspects of it. I can tell them where their satellite dish is, or where their computers are kept, or where they charge their cell phones, all this sort of thing that I don't know from being the other side of the world. So how does that work? And that's what really, really fascinates me about this work. Not just helping people, but how does that work? Because if I can do it, everybody can do it. And that's amazing. You know, let's just take a couple of minutes to look at the beauty of nature. Just breathe deeply and just allow it to wash over you for just 30 seconds or so, because it is absolutely beautiful.